Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna go with blue now. And our first card is an expert, multiple choice. Experts are always good, A plus. But joke aside, let's read it. So it's sorcery. If X is one, scry one, then draw a card. Ponder, or kind of ponder. If X is two, you may choose a target player. They return a creature they control to their owners, and that's kind of cool. For 3 mana, if X is three, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. And if X is four or more, do all of the above. Yeah, so the money is at 5 mana here, because 5 mana for a ponder, bouncing something and getting a creature is awesome value. Yeah, this card is excellent. And if on the early game you need something, don't be hesitant to like cash this in for a situation where you need to meet a land drop or whatever, right? But if that's not the case, yeah, you cost for 5 mana and you got a lot of advantage. And these are cards which I think make this format pretty grindy. Symmetry Sage. So it's a 1 mana human wizard, it's an O2 with flying. So yeah, notably doesn't block Inklings, but it does have Magecraft. And whenever you cast a copy on instant or sorcery spell, target creature you control has base power 2 until end of turn. Okay, so this is your 2/2 flyer. That's really the joke here. And again, like this Simic deck might actually really be the aggressive one because like there's a lot of things to like here. This is also like pretty good at like hitting your opponents. Okay, so let's read these blue cards with that in mind. Arcane Subtraction. So it's a one and a blue instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn, and you learn. I think this card is actually quite good. So the -4/-0, like creatures that would trade in a combat, now that creature dies, you're stunned, and then you learn, you get an extra card out of it. Like this can be a 2/1 for 2 mana. Like I think this card might be good. I need to see how it line up, but if it lines up well, then this is an excellent card. Burog Befuddler, so it's a frog wizard for 2. It's 2/1. It has flash, and when this creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-0 until end of turn. Yeah, so I guess it eats 1/1s and 1/2s and those kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's very impressive though, because I think this is just not a relevant body later in the game. You can ambush with something, but yeah, I don't think it's insane. Curate, on the other hand, I like this card. So it's one on a blue instant survey to draw a card. That's a lot of looks. It's like looking to or it's looking 3 cards or feed your graveyard if that matters. I don't think in the blue color combinations matters too much, but it's an instant, so you can hold up interaction and cast that if they do nothing and set up your next turn. And it's a good card. Art is fantastic on this. Mercurial transformation. So it's one on the blue for sorcery. It's a lesson. So you can learn this. And until end of turn, target non-land permanent loses all abilities and becomes your choice of a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1, or a blue octopus with power and toughness 4/4. So this is like a very cool little flexible card. I wish this was an instant. It's not, but yeah, like I think you can push damage through. Like again, the fact that this is a lesson makes it a lot better because you don't need to waste the main deck slot on it. You put it on your sideboard, and if the situation calls for it, you have like a flyer that you want to put through for 4/4 or whatever. Also, the flyer doesn't really work because it loses the abilities, but you get the idea. If you need a bigger creature, or you need one of that creature to be small and like force a charm block or a trade that way, this is not nothing. Again, the fact that it starts in your sideboard makes this card okay, I think. Reject. So it's one and a blue for an instant. Counter target creature planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 3. So it's another mana leak for really creature spells. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it to your graveyard. Yeah, I mean this is Essence Scatter, like weaker version of it. Um, but it's not a bad card, and it can hit planeswalkers, which is quite a big game here. His planeswalkers are, except Kazmina, but the others look strong so far. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a filler card. Like you don't draft this very highly, but Yeah, you're not ashamed of it either. Risk opt, so it's 1 and a blue for an instant. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4 for blue or an elemental creature token. So what's happening with this? If you would have, I guess, some tokens, or or more importantly, like this, think about this as a counter spell. When they remove one of your creatures, you hit it with this, and then that creature would go away anyway. But now you get a 4/4, and it's a big tempo swing too. So yeah, so maybe that's the joke here, or like a bad trade or whatever. This can help. Yeah, I don't think it's overly powerful, but there are situations for this card. Soothsayer Adept. So this is a 2 mana 1/3 Merfolk Wizard. Excellent stat line, ladies and gentlemen. And it's kind of Merfolk Looter. So it's 2 and tap, draw a card, discard a card. Merfolk Looter is good, especially in the grindy combat, grindy format, because then you just dispose cards which you don't need and draw the cards you need. That will generate quite a bit of advantage over 4 or 5 turns. So yeah, Test of Talent. So it's a 2 mana instant while blue. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. Searches controller's graveyard and library for a number of cards with the same name and exile them. Target player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled in their hand this way. So it does not gonna take stuff out of their hands. It's not 2 for 1 in that sense. Because they get a card, but they can remove other copies. I mean, limited, it's really gonna be like a counter target and instant sorcery spell. That's really what it's gonna be. But yeah, if you need that effect for whatever reason, and this is the set where you might need it, because it's a set about instants and sorceries. Some of the creatures come in the form of instants and sorceries. So yeah, so this card actually might be quite good in this set now that I'm thinking about it. Augmented Pugilist. So this starts as 1 green on the blue set review, and it's a throw druid creature with trample. As long as you control 8 or more lands, this creature gets +5/+5. Oh my god, that's like an 8/8 then. But it has another side, Echoing Equation, which is a 5 mana sorcery, and you can choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn, except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is. So this is kind of Blue's version of Overrun. Like if you have a sizably big creature, then all your 1/1s are becoming that like 5/5 or whatever. But yeah, I mean the Druid is good too. 8/8 Trampler for 3, starting at 3. Yeah, I mean this card I think is all around good in Quandrix, and then the other decks might be able to use it. And who knows, like maybe there is a splash potential. Yeah. Then we have Divide by Zero. So this is a 3 mana instant, and return target permanent target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand, and you learn. Yeah, I think Discord could be quite good actually, because what's happening with this that you create a substantial amount of tempo advantage. Say they cost their 5 drop, and then you order 4 drop. You hit it with this. Now the creature is back in their hand, and then you get the card back from the learn, and then next turn you drop your 4 drop. So now you are ahead, right? So I think this is a good tempo swing. Yeah, kind of like this card. Dream Strix. So this is a 3/2 flying for 3, Bird Illusion. Okay. When this creature becomes a target of spell, sacrifice it, which sounds like a drawback. In limited, I don't think it's a drawback, because usually, what would target it, it would be removal anyway and would kill it. But when this dies, you learn. So yeah, I mean it's kind of like a 2 for 1 potential, because again they lost the removal, but you get back the card. Yeah, I like this card. I think it's quite good. Frost Trickster. So that's a 3 mana bird wizard creature, 2/2 with flying. That's Windrake so far, and it's a common. But when this creature enters, the target creature opponent controls, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's on tap step. So maybe this was the first iteration for strictly better Windrake. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But this one does not have any drawback. It's Windex sets plus a strict upside on it. So yeah, I think this card is good. Like Windrakes are still good. Even the grindy format, they can just keep taking 2 in the air, and this can create tempo advantage by the ability. So yeah, good stuff. Ingenious Mastery. So it's X2 and blue, Stoke of Genius, right? So sorcery, you may pay like two and a blue rather than pay this pass mana cost. If two and a blue cost was paid, you draw three cards, then an opponent creates two treasure tokens, and they scry two. If that cost wasn't paid, you draw X cards. Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, look, your opponent gets mana and they can manipulate the library, but you draw like, yeah, you draw like three cards, which is not nothing. And if there's an X cost, yeah, this card could be just bunkers, right? Like Sphinx's Revelation. This is a card that can win you games. And again, I don't think if the format is slower, then they might not be able to get that much advantage out of the treasures. We gotta see that though. But yeah, I think this card is quite cool. Cappy Guide, so it's a 3 mana 2/2 beast. Okay, that's kind of underwhelming. But tap, untap another target permanent you control, so it's kind of mana fixing. And you can tap to tap target permanent, activate only if you control 8 or more lands. Yeah, I think this card is awesome actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is your way of splashing, this is mana fixing, and it's also in the late game, it shuts down their best creature. Yeah, it's an awesome card. Then we're gonna have Kian, Dean of Substance, which is a 2 and a green elf druid legendary creature. And for it's a 2/2, so it's kind of gray ogre vibes. But you can tap exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into your hand, otherwise put a study counter on it. And then for 4 and a green, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana value among non-land cards you own in exile, with study counters on it. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I think this is actually good. Like you can exile like a few cards, let's say like three. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, you get some lands out of it. You exile cards. You have three, and then you start creating three threes for five. Sometimes you might have 10 mana. You create two. Yeah, I think this is good. This is good. And then you have either the wizard. What's this thing? It's a bird wizard. Ibrahim, Dean of Theory. Okay. So it's a legendary creature, bird wizard. It's a 4 mana 3/3 flying, which is good already. And for X blue blue, exile the top X card of your library and put a study counter on each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with study counter on it into your hand. So for 3 mana, kind of draw a card, but then you can look deeper if you have more. Yeah, this is quite a good card. Yeah, I think this is all around. This card is excellent in a Quandrix shell. So yeah, this is a great card for you. And then we're gonna have Mentor of Guidance, Mentor's Guidance. Sorry, it's not a creature; it's a sorcery. So the name should indicate that it's two and a blue. And whenever you cast a spell, copy it. If you control a planeswalker, a cleric, druid, shaman, warlock, or wizard, and then scry one, then draw a card. So for 3 mana, if you control any of those, you get scry 2, draw 2. Yeah, that's good. Read the Bones has a good card and lost you 2 life, and it was excellent. Pop Quiz. Now, this is one of the very best cards in the set at common. So it's 3 mana, 2 and a blue. It's an instant to draw a card, which is usually not much, but you learn to. This card is excellent. Like this is one of the best divinations. It's an instant. You draw the first card and you're gonna learn. So if you have 5 lessons in your sideboard, which all cover different bases, you basically tutor a silver bullet plus draw a card. Yeah, this card is unbelievable. Rowan, Scholar of Sparks. Yeah, so this is a Planeswalker. So let's see how good Rowan is. So it's 3 mana for 2 loyalty Planeswalker. Instant and sorcery spells you cost 1 less to cast. Okay, so there's a lot of cards that care about the number of them cast, and then the bonuses scale up, so this helps with that. And for +1, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you draw 3 or more cards this turn, she deals 3 damage to each opponent instead. Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty good. And there's enough draw spell to hit hard on this one. And for -4, you get an emblem whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. You may pay 2. If you do copy it, you may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah, and it makes the spell cheaper, so technically it's 1 mana to copy. Yeah, I mean, if it survives after the emblem, that's pretty much pretty good mage storm there. And then you have the brother, Real Scholar Frost, which is a 5 mana Real Planeswalker with 4 loyalty. And then same static ability, instant sources cost one less, but this has three abilities. So plus one, up to one target creature has base power and toughness 0 to until your next turn. So it's good to get out a blocker from the way potentially. Minus three, draw two cards. Yeah, divination already. And then minus seven, exile up to five target permanents. For each permanent exile this way, its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Say in limited, this is pretty bonkers because you just exile five lands. It doesn't say no land permanents, and then get like 20 power and toughness versus stats into the battlefield. Yeah, amazing stuff. And we're gonna move on to solve the equation. So this is a 3 mana sorcery. Search a library for an instant sorcery card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Yeah, I mean this is a tutor. If you have a very good target, you don't mind this one of the mythics, and if not, then it's a 1 for 1. I think pop keys is better in that case. But yeah, teachings of the archaic. So this is two and a blue for a sorcery lesson. If an opponent has more cards in hand than you, draw two cards. Draw three cards instead if it has at least four more cards in hand than you. Alright, this is catching you up pretty quickly. Yeah, so it's divination which has substantial upside if you are really behind. Yeah, I mean, you would probably play divination in a format like this, so this card is just good. Uvilda, Dean of Perfection. So it's a two and a blue, not flying Windrake. It's a Jin Wizard, but it's 2/2. And then you can tap, you may exile an instant and sorcery card from your hand and put three honed counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this is exiled, remove a home counter. When the last home counter is removed, this card it's exiled, you may cast it. It costs 4 less to cast this way. So yeah, so home counters are apparently better than suspend counters because they make the spell a lot cheaper. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, it's not nothing, but it's not impressive either. Now let's look at Nassari. So that's the other side of this. Dean of Expression. So that's three red red for every shaman with 4/4 stat line. Okay, so that's kind of brawler. And then at the beginning of upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among them, those exiled cards, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. And when you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on this one. Yeah, I think this card is quite good, and it's one of the like Gonti effect, which is very annoying to play against because they always exile your best card or the card you wanted to draw. Yeah, I think this card is good. Like overall, the flexibility to two slides, it adds up to a good card, I think. Vortex Runner. So this is a two and a blue human wizard. As long as you control 8 or more lands, this creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. And it's a 2/3. So it's a 3/3 unblockable later on the game. Yeah, I mean on this card again, grindy games have to end somehow too. And if there's just a massive stalemate, like this is the way to end them. So yeah. Archmage Emeritus. So this is a 4 mana human wizard 2/2. That's not much, but it does have Magecraft, and when you cast a copy an instant sorcery, you draw a card. Wow, that is very very good. Yeah, it's awesome. Serpent Tinker. So this is a Pauper star. It's a sorcery. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal. Per X, put X +1/+1 counters on, where X is 1 plus the total number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. Yeah, I mean, in Pauper, it's easy to create like an 8/8 or 10 tank creature with it. In Limited, I think it's a little bit harder, but like I think it's very frequently gonna be a 4 mana 5/5 or 6/6 or even better. I think this card is good for a common. I'm in on this. Then we have Tempted by Auric for one blue sorcery. For each opponent, gain control of up to one target creature or planeswalker that player controls with mana value 3 or less. Yeah, I mean, depends. Yeah, like if there's good targets, you like this because control magic, it's a built-in 2/1 because you get their cards and they need to kill it. If they can kill the aura normally, but this is not an aura. This is a sorcery, so there's a guaranteed 2/1 if you can steal something and can position it in a way that you don't need to throw away. Yeah, I mean this card is okay. Like again, it would be greater if it was control magic, but the fact that this is sorcery, so they can't retroactively interact with it. I think it's pretty good. Torrent Copter. So this is 4 mana, 2 blue blue for a Merfolk Wizard with Ward 2. When this creature enters, exile an instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on this creature equal to half that card's mana value. Round it up. And then Flamethrower Sonata. Um, that's 1 and a red sorcery. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard an instant sorcery card this way, it deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Okay, so this is a removal and a creature occasionally. Yeah, I mean, there's enough going on here for this to be a good card, I would feel. Water for Aerialist, so it's 3 and a blue for a Gene Wizard. It's a 3/1 flyer, it's already good with Ward 2. Yeah, I think again there's the if blue and green is an aggressive deck, then this packs in some damage before they can kill it, and if they take like 9 from it, doesn't really matter that the format is grindy. So and you're happy to lose this, it's probably you can get through the remaining points of damage. Ooh, bury in books, so that's like 4 and blue for an instant. It costs 2 less to cast if targets an attacking creature. Put target creature into its owner's library second from the top. Huh. Yeah, it really is buried in books. And if your opponent has a shuffle effect for whatever reason, then you can, there's always that trick that you cast it in response, so that card completely shuffles away. There you go. Serpent. So this is gonna be a 5 mana Serpent 3/5, which is not bad. But more importantly, for 4, this can be blocked this turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, grindy games has to end somehow, and this is another way of doing it. Snow Day. So this is 6 mana for instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Okay. This is quite good. This puts 2 creatures out of commission for quite a bit of time, and then you get some card selection out of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm in on this card. I think. Judzi, Oracle of Arcavios. So Judzi, despite looking old, quite a brawler. So it's a human wizard for 8 mana, 6 blue blue, but it's a 5/5. And you can discard a card to return it to its owner's hand. So, good against removal. It has Magecraft. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1 rather than paying its mana cost. Wow, it's quite the ritual. If it's a land, put it on the battlefield. Yeah, it's good either way. So, okay, so Judzi is already very good. So let's see what's the other side. It's a sorcery journey to the Oracle, and it's 2 green green. You may put n number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield, and if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card. If you do, return Journey to the Oracle to its owner's hand. Oh, okay, so now I get the joke. So you cast this, ramp out on land, and if you have 8 or more, which is conveniently the cost of Jodzi, you get it back, and now you can cast Jodzi next turn. Haha, clever. That is awesome. Oh, I already love this set. This is Judgy. Judgy sold it to me. So yeah, no, thanks for watching. We're gonna move on next with the black cards. But yeah, Judgy is awesome. Wow, I wanna be brewing this set, that's for sure. So yeah, see you in the next video.